Do you think it is just money-driven, though?
No, it's not just money-driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money-driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen.
Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, man.
Back together. What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like
the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez gave fans the show they had been waiting for. When the fight was over, boxing pros said they loved the atmosphere and build-up. They liked how Crawford dealt with the Mexican crowd and how excited the fans were. Both fighters showed respect for each other and carried the weight of history on their shoulders. By fighting in the super middleweight class, Canelo put his reputation at risk. Many people believe that Crawford's ambition to become an undisputed champion in 3 weight classes was unrealistic. Still, Crawford's ease and focused, poker-faced look made many people believe that he belonged among the best.
Took the boos from the Mexican fans really well, and then towards the end of the press conference, he's so succinct and pithy in everything he says, Bud, that his supporters eventually came to the fore in the arena. He's incredibly popular. Canelo's he's not arrogant, but he's got so much self-belief. And then it's like a game of ping pong. Yeah. Back and forth all the time. Great atmosphere. We've had a brilliant day interviewing so many people about it. Today makes me feel really stoked about this fight now.
Stoked? It's a great word.
Stoked.
There's a lot of respect between both guys. I think they both know what they've got themselves into. Obviously, Terence is on the precipice of history. 3-weight undisputed champion. Not been done in the modern era. And obviously Canelo Alvarez, he's taking a big risk here. He's fighting what everybody's saying is the smaller guy. But when he was up on that stage, both guys paying an awful amount of respect to each other, both admitting that this is a 50-50 and could go either way.
Yeah, no nostalgia. They were asked about nostalgia and the biggest fight of their lives. Neither man wants to think about those things. They know they've got an elitist fighter in front of them. Canelo, like you say, has his legacy to lose in many ways that he's created in recent times at super middleweight, being undefeated in that division for 6.5 years against a guy that's come up from lightweight. Let's not forget that he beat Ricky Burns to win the world title at the beginning. It's a massive ask for Terence Crawford still, but there's that feeling in all of us that he is capable of doing it, and he presents that the whole time. He's got this poker face, he's got this ability to respond in the right way to everything.
He adopted a completely defensive Mayweather style, but instead maintained his own approach, which included sharp counters and smart movement. Canelo's pressure and power constantly showed how much better he was at super middleweight, while Crawford's poise and ability to adapt showed how much better he was. There were some similarities between the fight and Canelo's other problems, but the energy of the fight seemed new.
At 168 pounds, it is going to be a bit of a mystery how he comes into this weight class. There were some rumors of a shoulder injury. I'm not putting any stock into that because I don't think we can unless there's anything official really out there. Point being, there's got a lot of question marks around Terence Crawford. This video, we are going to suppose that those question marks are answered in full force by Terence Crawford being an absolute monster at this weight class. It's a lot of assuming, but it's kind of what we have to do to see the best version of Terence Crawford in this fight. So let's assume the weight doesn't bother him. Let's assume he is fully healthy, not injured. Let's assume that Canelo's power is not too much from him coming up from 147, 154 to 168. Let's assume all that's true. How does Terence Crawford win this fight? Number one, he has to get Canelo's respect early. Terence Crawford is not going to fight this fight on his back foot, circling around the ring like William Skull or Edgar Berlanga, any of these guys that got hit by Canelo and went, ooh, no, I don't want any part of that. That can't happen. And do not forget, by the way, that Charlo was 154 undisputed champion.
After this amazing fight, Carl Froch and Hamza Shiraz's thoughts were felt by many. People will always remember Crawford's skills, timing, and ability to stay in charge on such a big stage. Canelo's reputation also took a significant hit during the fight. He has fought people like Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather, who pushed him to get better, and that experience has made him the man he is in this fight. Everyone in the crowd and every ringside analyst must accept that he is still in charge. The fight showed how intriguing the balance is between Crawford's scary accuracy and Canelo's proven strength at the highest level. It wasn't so much about proving who was better as it was about highlighting how beautiful both people were. One man made a name for himself, and the other carried on his heritage.
Crawford, Canelo, before we move on to you and Canelo.
Yeah.
Who you got for this? I mean, this is an exciting fight. What's your pick for this one?
I think Canelo's going to win rounds 8 to 10 knockout.
You think he'll get stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to get the stoppage. I think...
Are you basing that just on size? Or?
No. It's a little bit on size, but I think Crawford's ego is not going to let him box. You got to remember,
so you think he's going to take him on?
Yeah. And I think he'll do what he has to do at the start, realise it's not going to work. Later on, try and match him, and that's it. Game over.
See, I think if Crawford's got to do the job, it's got to be boxing, moving, keeping out
That's
of the way.
only way it can be done. He can't fight him, can he?
No, he can't fight. And you're saying there he gets drawn in because he just might do because he's unbeaten. He fancies himself as a bit of a tough. Well, he's tough, isn't he? He's tough, strong. He does everything well.
Yeah.
But at this weight, but Canelo was down at welterweight when he started, up at light heavyweight, and obviously been beat. He lost to Mayweather and lost to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah.
Bivol was too much for him.
Yeah,
back down at super middleweight now. That's probably his comfortable weight. And you just think Crawford's just not big enough.
Nah, I don't think he is, man. And the thing is, with someone like Canelo, you got to either throw punches in bunches like Bivol did, or you got to be there where he respects your power, like GGG and these guys. So it sounds a bit mad, but I don't think Crawford's got either or. He's talented, one of the best fighters in our generation, but you've got to remember you're going up. 2 divisions, 3 divisions.
Yeah, 2 or 3 divisions.
It's different. The game's different up there.
And Canelo's not going anywhere, is it? Because he got clips. You mentioned Bivol there, and Bivol smashed him with quite a lot of big, heavy shots. Yeah. And he coped.
He took it.
Never been down, has
Nah, he ate it. And it didn't phase him. So I don't see how Crawford can hurt him, to be.
The fight showed how big the difference is between a natural super middleweight and a fighter who wants to push himself at a bigger weight. One team had more experience and was heavier, 168 pounds, so they could handle shots that would have scared most opponents. To keep up with the pace, the other team needed to be quick, flexible, and always on the move. During the exchanges, both players showed flashes of power, timing, and high-level adjustments. But the result was never clear. Players became more exhausted and under pressure as the rounds progressed, which made the tournament's final rounds extremely exciting.
Weird, it's quite difficult to read. Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168 pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobble since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect, because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, this in Vegas, if you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy. Canelo, we just know, isn't going to revert back to Canelo of 6-7 years ago. It ain't going to happen. So what Canelo does do is he tries to hurt you with one big shot now. He won't load up. He'll tap you, then bang. I think we've seen that, especially that shot he throws where it looks like he's going to go to the body, then it goes up top. He's really good at that shot. So Crawford's got to look out for that. I think Crawford wins quite a few of the early rounds. And then I think the weight of Canelo's punches, the weight in Crawford's legs start to take some impact. And I think Canelo starts to eat a lot of the second half of the fight rounds. And then I think it comes down to who can do something in 11 and 12 championship rounds. I really do believe that's how it's going to play out. I've got a feeling that Canelo will hurt Crawford.
When the incident was over, people always talked about P-tests. Some people wondered if Canelo was questioned as much as other boxers in the same weight class, but the fight itself was still the major event. Both guys were very disciplined and in excellent shape, showing that they had trained for months. People took notice of Crawford's ability to get better at lifting weights. Canelo's determination to keep going even after taking hard blows reminded fans of how dominant he has been for a long time. But the doping claims lingered, not as an accusation, but as a theme that came up every time Canelo stepped into the ring.
Around a whole bunch of dope people. right? His whole camp, we all know 7 people's been busted there. So how and why is no one asking about if he's been dope tested for this mega fight? Right? And that's what I've been watching for. And that's why, my interest is waning, my interest, because I understand that there's people who don't care. You know what I call boxing here. BTBG. Beat the black guy. That's what I call boxing. That's what I've been seeing for years. Right? Example, who gave a damn when Devin Haney was cheated with Ryan Garcia? Full of dope. All they were doing is celebrating a win, was what they were calling it, with somebody doped.
Bob Arum's statement accurately captured the events that transpired. Crawford showed his usual brilliance by making moves on both offense and defense. Canelo's skill was solid from years of practice, even if he wasn't as quick or flashy. People who watched said that Canelo used ring craft instead of pure volume, timing his moves to make room for his powerful hits. Crawford, on the other hand, exuded a fighter's desire to demonstrate the versatility of his skills. The contrast between the winner's newness and experience, as well as their approach to the game, shaped what people saw. It was true what Arum said about how Canelo's tools had changed over time. He is no longer the whirlwind of pairings that he was at the beginning of his career. Instead, he has become a careful strategist. The mood during the fight made people think of how comfortable Canelo is on big stages.
Are you willing to pick him over Canelo? That fight's gonna happen in September at 168.
Well, it's a big difference in weight with Canelo and Terence. But if any fighter has a chance with Canelo, it's Terence. Terence is a super talent, and he has a real chance, despite the weight disparity, to beat Canelo. A real chance.
Who would you favor, though? Or is it just 50-50?
It's very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's given away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight. So that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Gabriel Rosado's statements resonated as his fans acknowledged a man who has captivated global attention for over a decade. Canelo was always calm in public, and he never seemed like the enormity of the situation got to him. Crawford, on the other hand, showed that he wasn't scared by the situation by facing it with a calm confidence that demonstrated he was ready for such a stage. How fighters handle high-pressure scenarios is often based on how much experience they have, and this match had a lot of it. People watched as two players competed and did a fantastic job while being in the spotlight.
I feel like it's leaning towards Canelo, man.
Really?
Yeah.
And what gives you that feeling when you think about it? Is it the way he looks? Is it the way they interact together? What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like I said, Crawford that dude. But I don't know, man. I think Canelo gonna get it.
Is there anything that you feel like Terence is giving off that makes you feel like maybe the moment is too big, in your opinion, having seen it time and time again, or is it just a gut feeling you have?
No, man. I just think, man, that it's just comfortability, like as far as weight and activity. Canelo's been active, and I don't know, man. It's hard to be on your A game when you ain't fighting over a year. So especially when you fight top level.
What makes it difficult when you've been out for a year?
It's timing.
What is it about coming back?
It's just that timing. It's that timing, you know what I'm saying? It's like
the event became more meaningful when Richard Schaefer talked about Canelo's story. Many people saw how Canelo went from being a youngster just starting to box to becoming a worldwide star. Being 168 pounds makes his body look normal, which is a sign of how long he has been competing at this level. Crawford being in the same division as him meant that two separate routes were coming together. Crawford's determination to get ahead despite obstacles shows a lot of strength. Canelo's long trip showed how tough and mature he was, but the fight itself told both stories. A young boxer, who would later become famous and a determined winner, unafraid to push his limits, fought in the match.
Morning weigh-in?
Yeah, we just stepped away from the, we just stepped on the scale, 167.5. Crawford has the same weight. Interesting. And so they both seem to be in great shape. Canelo is ready, he is mentally ready as well, in a great mood, feels strong, looks strong, and is ready to perform.
My prediction, Canelo stoppage 8. It's a great fight, two great fighters. What do you think? How does this fight unfold?
Yeah, I could see that somewhere between the 8 and the 10. It's just like, you know, I'm not so sure that that Crawford gaining, moving up to, weighing in at 167.5 pounds is really the smartest move, because I believe that this Crawford is not going to win the fight based on weight. Canelo is the bigger, stronger guy. So I think what Crawford did by actually coming in so high, he gave up some of his advantages, such as speed. So I personally think that was not a smart move, but hey, we'll take it.
You've known Canelo for many, many years, almost 20 years, 19 years. Tell me about the first time you ever met him and his route to where he is right now.
It's funny, we actually were looking the other day at some old pictures, and I shared them with Canelo. It was, he was 17 years old. It was in downtown Los Angeles at the Fiesta Broadway event, the big Hispanic festival, where he showed up with Chepo and with Eddie. And my kids were there, my 3 sons, my wife, and they were like, you know.
Jones Jr. gave information that correctly reflected what Crawford was thinking. It was never just about money in this fight. It was about having the guts to go up against one of the sport's biggest stars. Crawford was sure of himself when he stepped into the ring, and it showed in how well he did. He relied on his skills, worked hard to get ready, and acted with the confidence of a fighter who knows what he can and can't do. People who saw him work through problems and show persistence under pressure saw moments of brilliance that showed how confident he was. Jones stressed that being the best means more than just going into the ring. You are there because you believe you belong there. The fight went from being a show to a show of courage and self-confidence because of Crawford's calmness and determination.
And he brings that level of motivation. But do you think that it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen. You ask, why did he take Crawford instead of anybody else? Because this is the best money opportunity, but it's also a better situation if you look at the whole dynamics of it. Canelo gets to be the big guy.
Yeah.
In a fight where he can make the most money he probably ever made.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that? You understand me? So no, money only incentive, but why would I not take a fight where I'm the bigger guy? You understand me? And this guy is good, don't get it wrong, which is what gets you out of bed every day. This guy is the only guy in the 4-belt era to be unified champion in 2 weight classes. You ain't getting your behind up out of bed for him, and you don't get up out of bed for nobody.
Yeah. Look, you talk there about Crawford being the bigger guy. Everyone's really...
No, Canelo being the bigger guy.
Sorry, about Canelo being the bigger guy. Everyone's really kind of hung up on the fact that Crawford's obviously coming up 2 weight divisions. But you've said before that he naturally walks around heavier than people kind of think, that actually it's not so much about him coming up, it's about the fact that he's not boiling down as much as before. So do you think the weight is as much of a factor as people are saying it is?
No, I don't. You know, I love guys like Crawford who follow blueprint that I set. I set that blueprint to put in their heads that just because a guy's bigger don't mean you got to lose to him. When I came in to fight Gerald Ruiz, I gave up a lot of weight. You understand me? But because I had the technique and the skill and the punching power to get my respect, I was able to win the fight. And I did that so that people can understand that just because a guy's bigger than you don't mean that he got to be able to beat you.
Lennox Lewis said what many people had been talking about before the bell rang: the difference in sizes. Canelo has shown over and over that he is naturally strong at super middleweight and that he can handle the power of bigger opponents. Even though he went up, Crawford showed that he could hit with speed, accuracy, and power, which earned him respect. Still, questions about weight kept coming up during the game. These unknowns made each trade more exciting for people watching live. Lewis's analysis emphasized the night's main story: Skill went up against size, and speed went up against strength in the fight.
What do you think about this matchup? Crawford moving up 21 pounds essentially to take on the guy at 68.
Yeah, man, Crawford's an amazing fighter. I call him Kung Fu because he fights on different styles. He's, hard to hit, and he hits hard. And he's boxing a guy that, he has to jump up in weight like 3 categories. And this man is like a body snatcher. He comes and he wears you down. So it's a great fight. He's boxed, I'm talking Canelo's boxed a lot of guys that move around. And, he's used to that type of boxing. And he's used to guys that, try and hide. But this Crawford ain't gonna hide from him. Crawford is looking to, put some punches on him and keep him at a distance. That's what I would do if I was Crawford. And then take his opportunity. I mean, I would say Canelo is not easy to hit.
That's all for the video today. Watch out. It would be great to see you again soon.